Hey indie game fans, pixel art in games have come a long way from their roots, best summarized by an article by Games, creator of the stunning action platformer Owlboy, talking about the high-bit era in games, basically modern pixel art with features that were not possible on older platforms. While the term has not taken off like I hoped, let's take a look at the top 10 best looking high-bit pixel art indie games. Now, best looking is subjective of course, and as the case with this channel, I'll try to highlight some smaller games that hopefully gives them a little boost. Iconoclasts is a Metroidvania-style game with an interconnected world, combat, puzzles, and more. The bright, beautiful colours really sets the mood, and of course, the pixel art is gorgeous. Set in a world where a religious authority controls the government and where it is illegal to be an unlicensed mechanic, you play as Robin, who is one such mechanic that just wants to help other people. Pursued by the government, she escapes, and this is her story of her adventure. This is from a one-man indie developer, Joachim Sandberg, and there's quite an interesting story behind the game since it took about 8 years of development. As with most one-man shows, he is the programmer, artist, writer, composer, and so on, and is really quite an inspiration for me. Put in the work, and perhaps someday you will be rewarded. Megasphere is a cyberpunk action platformer where you have to find out why the stars around the solar system are going dark. Apparently the levels are procedurally generated, and there's permadeath but with checkpoints as well, so the structure seems to be a little muddled at the moment. Regardless, this is a beautiful looking game and exemplifies the high-bit art style due to the pixel-perfect lighting engine. I would think that lighting isn't something that people would normally notice in games, unless we start talking about the latest ray tracing technology and so on, but somehow it really pops in this game. Fun, varied, upgradable weapons, and a good amount of challenge, though I'm personally waiting for the 1.0 version.
I've never understood that expression, death's embrace. And yet, here we are.
2018's Death's Gambit is a 2D Souls-like action-adventure RPG with massive bosses, a hauntingly beautiful gothic world, and a nice variety of enemies.
This contract will resurrect you in service to me. Think carefully about what you want. The immortals of Chaos Shore will stop at nothing to preserve their immortality.
While the Souls-like inspiration is obvious, there were complaints around launch that it perhaps was not executed well, since the lack of the additional dimension meant that dodge rolling was not as effective, and the stamina bar was an issue with certain classes. However, I did enjoy my time with this game and would recommend it if you want to see great art. Roof Rage is one amongst a couple of pixel art games which I considered for this video, including Tower Fall Ascension and Rivals of Aether. Basically single character focused multiplayer combat games, but this won out due to the backgrounds and of course since it is a little smaller. Martial arts focused platform fighter, I really like the theme, and there are currently 11 fighters, from a ninja, boxer, and even a sumo wrestler, so fantastic all around. One of my top 10 indie games of 2018, Crosscode is a 16-bit SNES-style action-adventure RPG along the lines of something like Secret of Mana, but of course with modern tweaks and enhancements. Playing as the stereotypical amnesiac protagonist, this is set in an MMO and has a comparable amount of content, but is all single player, which is an insane undertaking to me. One result of this was that the game took 7 years to reach the 1.0 version, but since I and others do love it, it was worth the wait. Version 1.1 recently launched on 15 May 2019, so they are continuing to support this, which is great news.
Let you down.
A dominion grows. Perish. Nature will claim you.
I am not here to play.
I'm tipping my hand, but the Advanced Wars like Wargroove was one of the games which I was very hyped for in 2019, and I'm happy to report that it did not disappoint.
That's enough.
This should be advantageous. Interesting.
You'll never see me coming!
Chucklefish is one of my favorite indie developers and publishers, with games like Starbound, Stardew Valley, and Pathway passing through their hands, and this turn-based tactics game is everything I wanted and more.
We could use this. My next victim!
An extensive story campaign featuring 4 factions, puzzle mode, skirmish, multiplayer, and even a level editor provides plenty to do, and the aesthetics is one of the main reasons that I enjoyed this so much. Aegis Defenders is a 2D action platformer crossed with tower defense and is one of the hidden gems of last year.
Whoa,
Listen.
got it.
Explore this beautiful world using different characters and their special abilities, then set up your towers and defend your base.
Clue!
Grandpa!
Careful.
I like tower defense games, but that too can become old from either the top-down or third-person action camera, so the side-scrolling platformer is a nice alternative. Needless to say, just admire the art in this. Kingdom is a side-scrolling base-building management strategy game series that seemingly created a genre of its own, where you directly control your ruler but have to move left and right in order to instruct your people what to do. New Lands is actually not the most recent entry, that being 2018's Two Crowns, but this seems to be received much better. All the Kingdom games feature great pixel art, so this was a no-brainer. "2011's Jamestown is a testament to the timeless quality of pixel art. For an 8-year-old game to still be able to stand out today is amazing and just showcases how versatile this medium is. A vertical shoot 'em up set on 17th century British colonial Mars, this has quite an interesting setting and story if you are looking for that, but if you are not, the shooting action is awesome. I actually featured this game during the start of this channel, and it is actually one of my favorites. Unfortunately, this developer seems to have vanished into thin air, so if anyone knows what is going on with them, do keep me posted.
Inhuman. Relentless. Unstoppable. You have only one purpose. Murder.
Witcher, reductively, is Doom but as a 2D platformer. This is a standout example of what I would describe as small character pixel art, so while it is not supremely detailed, the overall scale of the chaos and action is impressive. It is a gory action movie of a game where your objective is simple: eliminate all enemies in each level. Again, lighting is a highlight, especially from the flamethrowers and lava, but don't be fooled, the game gets difficult quick. It is relentlessly fun and feels great to play, with the aforementioned visuals pushing it to the #1 spot.
Exterminate them all.
For more of the best indie games, do check out the previous video or click on the recommended playlist, and I will see you after the jump.